You have an exam coming up in 2 weeks time, a week time, or even in 2 days time. You are so overwhelmed with the amount of information you need to cover. And because of this, your stress level increased, your ability to focus reduced, and your motivation to study actually declined. And in fact, you don't actually know what to do next. Now, right here on this video, I'm going to be teaching you how you can study more, faster, in less time. And in this video, I'm going to be teaching you how you can manage your time very well, how you can prioritize certain tasks well, how you can improve your level of focus, and how this can actually help you retain more and improve your grades. So stick with me as I teach you these tips that I'm about to teach you. I am Abayomi, and on this channel, I drop in tips and strategies that can help you as a student, put you on the right track, and make you study well and improve your academics. And if that sounds like something you're interested in, please consider subscribing to my channel right now. Now, this particular issue that I'm about to address can be a very frustrating one, because as a student, you have other engagements you do, and in fact, you might not have enough time to cover certain things before the day of your exam, or the workload is so much in such a way that you are not able to cover before your exam approaches, and in fact it actually causes frustration for you, and you start wondering how you're able to cover that ton of information in the little time you have. Now, there are ways to go about it, and this has actually happened to me too when I was in university. There was a time in which I haven't covered a lot of information that I needed to. I just had only 1 week to actually rush and cover the whole thing, although I was able to do it, and I'm going to share the steps that I took to do such, and in fact eventually I got a very high grade in that particular course. Now, don't forget to actually like the video and subscribe as we go on into the tip. At this point, your exam is fast approaching. You have a lot of things to cover in several courses. At this point, your exam timetable would have been out, and this can actually cause so much pressure for you. And one thing I would advise you to do is to build up a special or personal timetable. Now, you have your exam timetable that is out. You will structure that personal timetable in line with the exam timetable in such a way that any course or subject that you are having early, you make sure that you start studying those ones very early, and you shift those ones that you are having far away. You're going to shift those subjects far away in your personal timetable. I want to advise you that you should take advantage of the spaces in between your exams as you go on. Another thing I will advise you to do is, at this point, your exam is your top priority. You don't have to do any other thing at this point in time. While I was in university, at this rush hour, I try as much as possible to lock myself inside the room and make sure nobody distracts me, because at this point, I knew that I've not covered a lot and I need to cover so many things. In line with you taking your exam as a full priority, you should always remove every form of distraction. Like I said earlier, at this point, this is a rush hour. You don't need to be distracted. If it takes you to be in your room or anywhere you are reading for every 24 hours before your exam approaches, you have to do so. So you have to be in that room or in your library, remove every distraction, take your food along to where you are reading, and anything you need, just tuck yourself into that particular place and read, because you don't have much time. Now we are getting to the studying process, because the points that I explained earlier are the preliminary ones that you need to take. Of course, you have a voluminous material and you've not been studying all this while. So one major thing that I did, and one thing that we advise you to do, is to deconstruct those things that are voluminous into a very short form. Now, at this point, you need utmost attention and utmost focus while you are reading, because this will actually enhance the way you assimilate information at that particular time. As you are reading, you engage with what you are reading. You make everything that are voluminous in a very short form that you'll be able to revise before the day of your exam, because these things are voluminous and you don't have to actually carry those big books around when your exam is fast approaching. So at that one sitting that you have, at that point that you have, remove every distraction, turn off everything. Your exam is the full priority, and deconstruct everything into a small sheet of paper or a small note. Now, after doing this is what you'll be carrying around before your exam day. It is very important. You are at the rush hour. You don't need to, there are certain things that you need to do, and this is very important. So after you deconstruct everything, that is the major point to be reading. And another strategy that will actually help you is that at this point, your past question is the most important thing, because after you deconstruct, even your past questions can help you deconstruct, because you review the past questions from the past 10 years, then you look at questions that are recurring, then you go straight to the contents of the voluminous material, then you deconstruct each of the answers to the questions that reoccur most and learn those very well. It is very important. Then when you do this, you have to keep practicing active learning, that is testing yourself rigorously. At this point, you have to ask people to ask you questions. You have to try to teach someone what you are learning at that point at a very fast rate. You are in a rush hour. So that is what I will advise you to do. After doing all this, you should always make sure that you rest at this point, because resting can actually help your brain recover from the stress that you went through, and you'll be able to assimilate more. So you should always take sleep very important at this point. Sleeping is very important, because when you don't sleep and you feel that you don't have enough time and you keep reading again and again, you overload your memory in such a way that it won't be able to absorb enough information again, and you break down. So as you read a little bit, you sleep a little bit, you wake up and you sleep a little bit and you read. That is the way to go about it. So I hope this video helps you to know how to study faster, efficiently in less time. So thank you so much for watching, and see you on the next one.